Morning, gang. Halfway through the week. Yes, it's Tuesday. Wednesday, the 22nd of July, 2020. Welcome along, and this morning's little chat show here with you again, coming to you from the Chapel Hill Marina in Lincolnshire. I just realised I haven't brought my pills in here. Never mind, haven't got to take those for an hour. Might be gone by then, you never know. My toilet has been making gurgling noises all night long. Yeah, actually not. I thought it was going to keep me awake, to be honest, but it didn't. It started doing it last night at about 7 o'clock. And I thought perhaps, maybe you just need to flush some water through and it's blocked up somewhere. But no, I had taps running and everything. The water moves around in the toilet. And in the shower, there's this like plastic thing on over the top of the drain. And it was jumping up and down. There's not really like smells or anything coming up like that, but there must be a blockage somewhere along the line. I was talking to my friend Adam the plumber, who is head of toilets and archive shows on this channel. He's head of that. And he said it sounds like there's a blockage or someone was working on it. It did sound like there was someone had a stick somewhere and was poking it down a pipe somewhere trying to clear it. But I was concerned all night long that I was going to wake up, in pools of dirty water where it had come up my toilet. Oh, it was very worrying. Very worrying, but it didn't happen. And this morning, once again, it's gurgling away. So I've just rung Alan, who is Sylvie's husband. Sylvie is caravan queen of all caravans everywhere in the world, and he's going to send a man out today. So I might have to disappear suddenly. Okay, if the toilet man comes, all right. But the good news is it didn't explode. Oh, I can't think of anything worse than exploding toilet. All that stuff coming out, how awful. Anyway, so that's the toilet. We had a lovely quiz last night. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed playing last night. And that finished. And then shortly after that, I was talking to my bingo man, the bloke who wrote the bingo program, and tell us about our email problems and what have you. And he's been trying to do a workaround, and he thought he had it. But it didn't work. And still, we're trying to find another way of sending them out, you see, through the old way I used to send it out, which I think was through NTL World, wasn't it? NTL World or Gmail, one of the two. Can't remember what. And we tried both of these, and we just cannot get the emails to send out. Therefore, no bingo today, all right? We'll wait till that gets ready. Oh, sorry, what's it in my tooth? Bit of breakfast in my tooth. How awful. What is it? Oh, it's a piece of porridge. Like a piece of porridge got stuck in my tooth. Now, why didn't that come out when I brushed them a moment ago? That's very concerning. I know. I need a new toothbrush. I do make them last as long as possible, Oh, yes. You know the little bristles on the toothbrush? They're really bent over by the time I throw them away. And then you get, when you get a new toothbrush, right? So you got the old one and it's all bent up a little bit like that, the little bristles, aren't they? You get the new one and it's like, they're so hard. They take half your blooming gums away out of your mouth, don't they? Awful. Anyway, sorry about that. Yes, so I thought we'd wait now until we get that bit of it sorted out, and then we may be able to send them a different way, okay? So we won't be playing any bingo today. It's really stressing me out, that thing. Completely taken over the life, and we can't have any of that. Long walk yesterday. A really nice long walk yesterday, although I think I'm not sure I ended up where I was supposed to be honest. I walked along by the river, come out the caravan, went right, and then I went left. Most people go right. I went left and followed the river round, literally followed it round by the side of it. I walked about 2 miles, and I came to this, my neighbour just over there, Rory, he was saying there's a bit where you can sort of walk round and then come through, kind of almost through fields like that. And I found it. So I walked right around, about 2 miles, as I say. I walked past this old, dilapidated, building. And I carried on to a lock, and there was a little family, two ladies and some little children having a picnic on the other side. And I carried on, and in right ahead of me, I could see this what looked like an old farmhouse. And I thought, I think that's a little bit too far away. Of course, if you get that far, you've got to walk back again, haven't you? And I was already thinking, I think I might have done enough now. So I come back the other way, got back to this old dilapidated building, and I thought, I wonder if this is the farmhouse. But it was like surrounded by bushes and trees and stuff which had grown up like that. You know? I kind of pushed my way into it to have a look. And sadly, there was a carrier bag full of beer bottles, you know, and roll-up cigarettes. I suppose kids must have gone down there at some point. And the bag didn't look particularly old. Do you know what I mean? It looked like a recent thing. And I thought, how sad is that? In the middle of the blooming countryside, a bag with beer bottles and that. Anyway, I came back out of there and I walked down a little bit further and I thought, there's a little bit where someone's walked before. You know, the grass wasn't completely flat like it is a path. It was just like down like that. So I walked down there, and I'm looking at my my Apple Maps thing now, which showed like a waterway, which led back to the road. So that would allow me to go in a circle rather than going one way there, getting so far, and then walking back along the same way, which is a bit boring. You know, walking back the same way again. So I walked down there and I managed to get down through the bushes, or just to the side of the bushes. And then I was in this field, which was like barren. You know, there was just weeds and that growing in there. The ground was really dry and all cracked up. Slightly round there. And I found what should be the waterway, but there was no water there. What's that? Just a moment. I think that door's gone a bit wonky. One minute. That door all right? Sorry, I thought my door would open. Oh, shut up. Blooming thing. Let me turn that off. How annoying is that going off every farm? And that goes off all day, that is. I really need to turn the bell off on it. It tells me if there's someone outside either here or the house. Trouble is, it's the same tone for both of them. You never know where anyone is. So I got down there and I found where the waterway should be, but there was no water in it. Presumably they've got like a gate or something. They have to go through the fields. And then I started walking and I walked along this thing. Eventually I came to a path, what was looked like a tractor path rather than a footpath. At this point I thought, I'm not sure I'm supposed to be here. You know, it might be private land. Any moment now, a farmer could come out with a gun. You know, I mean, what he'd think I was doing there, I don't know. You know, can only nick so much wheat or barley. I think it's either wheat or barley they're growing in one of the fields on the right. So that's all growing stuff. And on the left-hand side is the what I would call the barren field, where nothing much is happening there at all. It's just been left to perhaps to rest or something like that. I don't know. And I walked along this windy road, and the map was telling me, yeah, walk along here. And I got to the end, and not far from my the Lincolnshire Television Studio complex at all, really. Came out sort of in the middle of a couple of houses. But at the beginning of that path, there was no entry sign or private property, keep out or anything like that. So that was a lovely walk yesterday. Now, I did try and do the video that I sometimes do of these walks, but for some reason it didn't come off the phone and go onto the computer, so I can't show you that. But what a lovely walk, at about 4.2, 4.5 miles. Really nice and peaceful. No one around. The only people I bumped into were the family on the other side. But I was disappointed to find a bag full of beer bottles in this old dilapidated house. It's just unnecessary, isn't it, really? And talking of rubbish, there's yet another story of rubbish being left everywhere, I'm afraid, this morning, boys and girls. In the Daily Mail Online, conservationists are being forced to clean up after inconsiderate British people who flock to beauty spots and camp overnight but refuse to tidy up after themselves. As lockdown restrictions have eased, many people have taken camper vans or tents into the countryside with friends as a form of staycation. However, as many campsites remain closed, people have been illegally pitching up at beauty spots without permission. Now, I have to say, when I was in the Scouts, we used to go on hikes, you know, long walks. And sometimes we would go on a 3-day hike. And we'd have our rucksacks on, tents in the back, some food, a little Primus stove to cook it all on, and off we'd go. Right? And we did, I have to say, probably the same as similar to some of these people. So we'd be walking along, walk so far. Okay, well, it's getting dark now. Let's camp here. All right? So we might be on a public footpath and we go in the forest or, just off the path a little bit. And we'd set up camp and have dinner and talk and go to sleep. But when we woke up in the morning, any rubbish we would take with us. We never ever left a single thing. And I think when we were in the Scouts, one of the things we would use would be tins. Tins of stuff, right? And we would, after we finished with the tins, we would flatten them down and dig a big hole and bury them, literally. That's what we did then. But we'd never leave any rubbish. I don't think we had much plastic in those days anyway, really, when I think about it. But these people, they just walk away from the rubbish. I don't get it. The National Trust sites in the Lake District, Peak District, Cotswolds and beyond are being abused by members of the public, and it's leaving experts having to remove the rubbish in order to protect wildlife and natural habitat. Because you see all these little ducks and things going around almost strangled with fishing lines and turtles full of plastic and this, that and the other, don't you? It says in the Daily Mail, Dovedale in the Peak District has been swarmed with visitors recently, with 170 large bin bags of rubbish collected over 3 days in June. In the Lake District, fly camping has become a major issue on lake shores while camper vans cram into the car park. And they said that the teams of rangers, the National Trust that is, are spending around 20% of their time tidying up litter. Well, it's not on, is it? I still don't understand how we got to this point of just leaving rubbish wherever we are. Because it wasn't like that when I was a child. Someone would create merry hell if you ever saw us drop so much as a sweet wrapper on the floor. Now they leave entire dining services, cardboard boxes and bits of paper and plastic all over the place. Barbecues, chairs, tents and tables are being left behind, as well as human waste. I mean, for God's sake, used toilet paper and food packaging. Again, I have to say, when we was in the Scouts, if you got caught short, you'd have a shovel. You'd dig a hole. It says the volume of debris left behind, says one of the rangers, is overwhelming and something we've not experienced before. After people have finished having fun, it's like they just abandon ship. What they couldn't be bothered to carry out, they just leave for someone else to clear out. And I mean, some of these, look, I mean, God's sake. There's a site in the Lake District here, looks in the middle of the forest, which is, it doesn't look like a campsite, but I mean, just look at this. Why would you do that? Why did people just get, and that's the other thing with tents. It's all very well having cheap stuff, but cheap tents mean they just leave it. They camp in these tents, and we've seen this in outdoor music events. Like Glastonbury and things like that. Now, here's the back of this ranger's truck where it's been picking up all the rubbish. Look, it's full up. At these music events, they buy a cheap tent, they pitch up, they enjoy themselves getting drunk and taking drugs for the whole weekend. And then they just go, leave everything there. The tent, the bottles, everything. I don't know how we got to that situation. It is a blooming shame. It really is, to see the country completely ruined like that. And that's how I lead on to that story there with the bags of bottles there. I don't know. It's a great shame. Talking of my camera this morning, I'm waiting for the bloke to come and look at my... Well, I don't think he's going to look at the toilet. Probably the drain thing outside, which it's gurgling away. I'm afraid of exploding toilets. I'm sorry, I am. I mean, it's on the same sort of level as wasps. Wasps or exploding toilets. Take your pick, my loves. Which do you want to go for this morning? The other thing I've been noticing on my outside my house, because I've got a camera there as well, of course. The ginger cat I made friends with last week? Yes, it keeps coming to my front door, hoping that I'm going to be there. Oh, I think soon that cat's going to be coming into my house and sitting on my lap, Thank you very much. Right, let's say hello to some of you this morning. Good morning to Jason Hughes, Barry Sedgebear. Good morning, Barry. Beer, sorry, I beg your pardon. Barry Sedgebear is here. Hello to Diane Jebb. Morning. Mick Davenport. Gary Davidson. There's Denise. Denise Andrews. She is now head of animal welfare on this channel, boys and girls. Denise Andrews, and I'm sure she'll tell you all about litter and how it upsets little wild creatures. It's so bad, it really is. Shania's there. Good morning, Shania, head of the Catholic Church on the Isle of Wight, and teller off of people in church who don't stick to social distancing. Morning, Shania. Hello to Amelia Phillips joining us. Good morning. Claire, good morning. My fridge magnet has arrived straight away. Excellent news, Claire. Yes. Do you know, the odd thing is, Claire, stuff seems to go better from up here than it does down in Berkshire. I don't think I've ever lost anything that's been sent from up here. It's all in Berkshire. We must have a load of criminals in the sorting office there. You know, people looking out for fridge magnets, no doubt, selling them on eBay at vastly inflated prices. Don't pay them. Don't pay them. Good morning to Gary Butler. Morning, Gary. I think you went to bed early last night, didn't you? I did try. It was a bit late last night because I was on the phone for... I finished the show and I thought I'd just send our man a message, and I sent him a message, and sorry, I beg your pardon. I wasn't on the phone last night. It was like chatting to each other on the internet, trying to get this bingo thing working with no success. I'm afraid, no success at all. Mike Rees-Ponto, good morning. Mike Rees-Ponto, there we are. Who else is here? Let's have a little look there. Christopher Woodhouse, good morning. Bright and early for young Christopher Woodhouse this morning. There's George Bond, just popped in to say hello. There's our Sherry, good morning to Sherry, DMP. Head of... Oh, what are you head of? Oh, no, it's your husband, isn't it? He's head of Filipino affairs. Perhaps you could share that job with him, being as you are one. Sherry DMP with her own cookery channel there. Lovely jubbly. Amelia's still in bed this morning. Oh, Amelia, I think it's time to get up, darling, don't you? I mean, look, 9 o'clock in the morning. Life is very short, dear. You don't want to get to the end of your life and find you'd spent 95% of your time in bed. Mind you, I suppose it depends who too. I'm sorry, someone's shouting hello. Is someone shouting hello to me? I keep hearing someone shout hello. Good morning to John Aitken. Hello, John. Park Nest. There's... Look, just a moment. I'm sure someone's shouting hello. Hang on a minute. Let me see. Hello? Strange. I can't hear anyone. Oh, dear me. Let me close that door. I could hear someone shouting hello then. I don't know who that is. Where are we now? Mandy, Sherry, Michael Pullman. Good morning, Michael Pullman. Hello to you. Gary Ross. Is that everyone? Park Nest? I don't know what's hard about taking your rubbish with you, disposing of properly. It's the height of laziness. It's terrible. I mean, it really is terrible doing stuff like that. I don't get it. Don't get it at all. Young Michael Pullman there. Morning. Gary Ross could destroy a few Greg's sausage rolls now. Shania is basically a church bouncer. Yes, Shania, you need a bouncer's outfit now. You know, you need the black jacket and the white tie. The black jacket, the black bow tie, and the white shirt as well, I reckon. Is that a good idea or not? Morning. It probably is fans looking for autographs. I thought it was Sylvie because I'm trying to listen out for the toilet man to come today. Good morning to John Glazebrook. Morning, John. Hello to you. Hello, is it me you're looking for? 'Cause I wonder where you are, and I wonder what you do. Are you somewhere feeling lonely, or is someone touching you? I'd love to be touched, to be honest. I'd love it. Hello to Ella Marge TV. Good morning to you as well. So there we are. Do you know what? I bought 2 gadgets up here. I bought my satellite receiver because the satellite socket on the TV had broke off. God knows how that happened, but it is. So I bought this satellite box that I don't use anymore, and I plugged that in so I can plug that into the HDMI socket. Put it all together. Excellent. Where's the? I've left the remote control. What an idiot! I've left the remote control. Left the remote control at my house. DJ Chris gave me. And the other thing I bought out was my old soundbar. Again from the house because I didn't have any bass here. It's very not very good sound from a telly anymore, is it? You remember when you used to buy a television, right? You never had to buy sound bars and all this business, did you? You know, it just worked. It simply just, and it was a nice sound. Not anymore. The speakers on TVs are absolute crap. They really are. So you have to buy a sound system to go with them as well. I was saying to you a few weeks ago, everything you buy now is in bits and pieces, whereas before you'd buy, for example, a bike. Before you'd buy a bike, everything would be on there. You know, decent seat, mud guards, lights, that was all on there. Not anymore. Oh, you want a bike? Oh, do you want wheels with that? That's an extra 20 quid. Or would you like a chain so that you can push it around? That's another 30 quid. It's all like everything's so they can make more money out of you, like a car. Like a car. Now, the car I've got now does come with a spare tyre, which reminds me, I meant to go down to the petrol. Well, I tried to go down to a petrol station yesterday. One of my tyres is showing that that it's a bit flat, although it doesn't look it. When you look at it and push it to see if it's soft. Do you like to push it to see if it's soft? Hate soft ones, don't you? Anyway, I'm pushing this tyre and it doesn't seem to be soft at all or look bad, but there's a little indication on the dashboard which says one of the tyres is a bit low. So I went out yesterday, went in the direction of Tattersall Bridge, because someone told me there was a garage there. Well, I found a tyre garage, but not a petrol garage. You can't just go into a tyre garage and say, do you mind seeing if that's a bit low? You know, you go in there to buy a tyre, don't you? So I went in completely the wrong direction and ended up coming back here still not pumped up, unfortunately. So after the show today, if the toilet man's been, I'll probably go the other way where I know the petrol station is towards sort of Boston and pump that up and see what happens. But I might have a slow puncher in one of the tyres. I want to do that before I go home, don't I? You know? So no remote controls. You know, I didn't bring the remote control for the satellite box. What an idiot. And I didn't bring the remote control for the soundbar. But there we go. One of those things, isn't it? John Glazebrook says, please stop singing. I mean, have you heard yourself singing, John? I'm not being funny, love. God's sake, man. Very terrible voice you've got. How rude are you? Oh, I won't be bothering singing for you in future. How rude. Parkness says, the Royal Mail in Telford is the best. Stuff I've ordered from there has always turned up the next day. Excellent. Excellent. I am hearing things, Mandy. I hear the voices. The voices are telling me to kill everyone. Kill everyone. The voices are speaking to me. Yes. Where are we? Good morning to Michael Lawrence. Oh, it's a bit warm in here today. The traditional bouncer forever reminded me of Hal & Pace. Yeah, that's what Shania needs. A bouncer costume. A bouncer costume. That's what we need. The bouncer costume. A tire will only ever be flat at the bottom. Like your bum. That's flat as well, isn't it, John? Never mind. Amelia's got up. Congratulations for that. Dear. You're right, Parknest. I think everyone's following the Ryanair business model. You know, you buy your seat for £1. Do you want a seatbelt? That's £2.50. Do you want to use the toilet? That's £10 a time. That's the Ryanair thing. They split everything up so they can make more money out of you. Oh, John, Ben Shepherd eating a trifle on Good Morning Britain. I was very jealous. They were talking about favourite desserts when they were young. I'm not a fan of Ben Shepherd. I heard that he was on there this morning, wasn't he? I'm not a fan of his. Favourite dessert? Oh, gosh. Well, I'm a big fan of apple pies. Ice cream, as you know. What else? What's your favourite dessert? Have you got a favourite dessert at all? What do you like? Treacle sponge pudding. Yes. Oh, yes. Where's that place we were going to last year with my sister and her husband? There's a place near here that does home cooking, and it's really nice. It's in Anton's Gout. Can't remember the name of the place now. The Malcolm Inn or something like that. The Malcolm Inn, I think it was called. They do good. They do lovely treacle sponge in there, covered in custard. Oh, it's delicious. It's delicious. Mike Reese-Ponto says, I wish I had a bigger bum. We can have injections, Mike. You know, like that girl. Is it Nicki Minaj or... Who's the one? One of the Kardashians. Don't she have some sort of inserts into her bum? Must be very uncomfortable when you sit down. Isn't it? Must be like, I don't know, sitting on a big tail. Just imagine how uncomfortable that must be if you've got inserts in your bum. You know, because they... Is it like... I mean, I'm sitting on a cushion here because I'm little. If I wasn't sitting on a cushion, I'd be much lower than I am. Chris Wood asks, treacle sponge and custard. Oh, yes, please. That's the one, Chris. Rhubarb crumble for Gary Davidson. Apple crumble and custard. John Aitken. Yes. McFlurry for Gary Ross. No, that's certainly not the best one, I wouldn't say. Certainly not the best one. That's weird. Someone outside is saying hello. There's no one outside saying hello, Gary. I thought there was. It's a strange noise out there trying to interrupt my show, which will be ignored. Some stories here. Hauntings. We don't like hauntings, or do you? I'm all right with ghosts. I've come across a few in my time. That's true, that is. You know, I was doing some sound, no real bad experiences, except at one place where I was putting some wires in, and this place had closed, so it was about 12 o'clock at night now. I was putting some wires in for some speakers, and I had to walk behind the bar, and all these bottles shot out of the bar at me. I kid you not. Didn't bother me. Wouldn't bother me. I just said, oh, don't be stupid. Why are you doing that to me? What have I done to you? What have I done to you? Like that. Didn't happen again. But in the Daily Mirror this morning, a North Wales hospital site in Denbigh was once said to be cursed by witches. Cursed by witches. Do you know any witches? Any witches? Chilling photos of a former asylum where people have reported hearing screaming and footsteps have emerged. The North Wales hospital site in Denbigh has attracted a number of ghost hunters over the years, even appearing on the TV show Most Haunted. What a load of old rubbish that is. Is that the one where they get celebrities to go to places? And oh my God, it's so staged. That is so staged, I'm telling you. The building was built in 1848 for people with psychiatric illnesses. Oh, well, that's me. I've got a psychiatric illness, haven't I? Hello. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I could have been a ghost today if a farmer had come and shot me for walking over his path, but he didn't. The building was built in 1848 for people with psychiatric illnesses and was home to 1,500 patients and 1,000 staff before closing its doors for good in 1995. And there's been many spooky... Oh, hang on a minute. We need some music for this. We need the strange and mysterious... No, we need the scary music for this one. Yes. There have been many spooky sightings over the years, with people reported hearing screaming, laughter, footsteps and loud bangs. Well, it's funny, that's what was going on in my toilet last night. Loud bangs. You should have seen the drain thing as I saw on the shower. It was jumping up and down like that. I thought, oh no, poo is about to come through my drain and into my shower. I was scared. Warnings about the property have since escalated, with fears that the Grade 2 listed building is in a state of near collapse after being subject to a number of arson attacks and vandalism. It's currently undergoing a £75 million renovation scheme by developer Jones Brothers, which has plans to transform the site into a housing complex with shops, a gym and restaurant. But the work has come to a standstill at the moment. Oh, it looks a very grim place, that. Oh, no. That looks grim. So this was some sort of hospital there. Obviously, they've taken out all the furniture, but, you know, it's just some buildings that look horrible. Look at that, in that horrible place. Horrible. You wouldn't want to buy that and convert it into a house, would you? You know, there's something, you know, there's something about the building that's not nice. God knows what poor souls ended up in there. Isn't it awful? But it's full of ghosts now, apparently. Yeah. Oh, well. Good morning, John Paris. Oh, John Paris has sent in a photo, boys and girls. I've only got one photo to show you today, so I'm going to show it to you without you even having to like. How kind am I this morning? Although a like would go a long way. Little thumbs up thing underneath the chat box. Find the thumbs up and just click it. That gives me a like. Good for the YouTube algorithms. Okay. John Paris has sent in a little photo. Let me bring up the story that goes with it. If you ever want to send anything in, I'll give you the email address in a moment or two, my loves. All right. Oh, where's the story gone? Or perhaps I've binned it. I might have binned the story now. Once I've dealt with emails, I stick them straight in the bin. Otherwise, it just builds up and up and up, and you don't know where you are. No, I haven't got the... Oh, hang on. Is that it here? Da. Yes, he's in Germany. John's in Germany with this photo. Check this out. Look at this. Look, there we are. Doesn't that look a lovely building? Eh? There seems to be a lot of Johns there. As in John Paris's, not toilets. Clever how you did that. But I love the pictures on there. Is that the Virgin Mary and baby Jesus at the top there? It looks like it. And then people on horses and stuff like that. And it just says in the email, me, myself and I in Germany. Very clever. Thank you, John. That does look a lovely building. Certainly better than that hospital we were just looking at, isn't it? Hey, who would want to go there? No, thank you. Don't want to go there. There's a few orbs over your head. There's always orbs over me, Gary Ross. People protecting me. People protecting me. Yes. Against my brain not exploding at some moment, please. The stress I've had over the last few days. And some people don't help with it either, I tell you. Morning to James Humble. Good morning, young James. Hello, James is in the house. Welcome. Mick Davenport sent some pictures as well. Okay, did you? No, not there. No pictures from Mick Davenport are there. Unless they've gone in another folder. Not in social. Not in... Oh, in promotions. They're in promotion. And so is an email there from Kelly Kim. See? What's going on with this Google Mail? What is going on with the Google Mail? 2 emails there from viewers in the promotion... Not in the info, but in the promotions folder. Useless. Oh, dear. The trouble is just go on and on, don't they? You do really want to give up sometimes. There we are, never mind. Okay, what else have we got here? A man has renovated, talking of history and ghosts and things like that. Do you remember that story we did the other day? About someone, they'd done the wallpaper. They were doing wallpaper. And they peeled off the wallpaper and there was a little note behind it saying, I decorated this in, I think, 1995. If you've removed this wallpaper and put new up, then you will need 8 rolls. I only bought 6 and I had to go back to the shop. Do you remember that story? Well, there's another one here in the Daily Mirror. From Australia, an Australian man in the midst of a home renovation was completely shocked after making a baffling discovery in his wife's parents' wardrobes. You thought I was going to say knickers then, didn't you? Go on, be honest. Josh, who's 33, was ripping up old carpet in one of his bedrooms of his in-laws' Sydney home when he came across a receipt from 42 years ago. Since his in-laws had lived there since 1978, he figured the receipt had to have been processed not long after they moved in. The purchase had been made at a Woolworths store in 1978 and totalled 91 pence, which can be 91 cents, which can be converted, it says, to 0.5 pence. Really? As low as that. The stunned Josh, and in the hope of finding more out about the purchase that was made, he took to the supermarket's Facebook page. And according to news.com, Australia, he wrote, "Hi Woolworths, someone from our house attended your store on the 16th of the 11th, 78. And as my wife Liz and I weren't born yet, we can't even imagine what the purchase was for. Any ideas?" The receipt has been found at the back of the wardrobe behind a box of shoes when he was ripping up the carpet. Whilst there's not much that you can now buy for 91 cents, a catalogue from Woolworths in 1978 says shoppers could buy coffee, spaghetti and yoghurt for all over just 60 cents. An entire chicken would only cost $1.09 Australian, while a kilo of mince set you back just 89 cents. That's about 49 pence. Do you ever find stuff like this? Usually in lofts and places like that, don't you? Josh couldn't believe the immaculate condition of the receipt, despite it being 40 years old. And Facebook users were just as made as he was, with one saying, "What a price of history. I wonder what they got." Woolworths also responded to the shopper's discovery and said that they were impressed to see a receipt in such wonderful condition even after 40 years. It's great, isn't it? Have you ever found anything like that? Anything strange? I remember years ago, was it primary school? I was at primary school and we were digging. Me and my friend was digging and we came across this scales, really old-fashioned scales, and it was like, I think I've got them somewhere. I don't know where they'd be. Hold them up, and there was like a weight on one side, and like a hook on the other, and like a sort of half moon shape with weights on it, and you hang something on the hook, and this pointer would move around and give you the weight. Not fantastically accurate like the modern ones, I suppose, but nevertheless it sort of did the job. Have you ever found anything like that at all? I wonder. Ever found anything like that? That's strange and mysterious. Oh, look, I haven't put my camera back on. What an idiot. Just one thing after another, isn't it? Never mind. Weird City Citizen, a very good morning to you. There's Mark Bowles joining us and Heidi Young. Heidi Young, everyone's there today. Excellent. What else have we got here? Groom horrifies wife by forgetting age-old wedding cake. Oh, he couldn't wait to get it in his mouth. You ready for this? Look at this. Ali Downs shared footage from a wedding guest of TikTok of the moment her new husband Jake forgot one of the oldest wedding traditions. The newlyweds had just cut the cake as a pair. Now, I don't know this tradition, actually. I must say this. I don't know this tradition. I've never noticed it before. But it says is this in the UK, is it, or somewhere else? The newlyweds had just cut the cake as a pair, the first part of the tradition that acts as a symbol of commitment to one another. I just have to buy myself a cake and have slices and sort of I belong to myself, really, don't I? And they were about to complete the second part, where you feed each other the first bite of cake. Is that something you know? Is that something you know? Because I don't. Which symbolises the first tasks completed together as a married couple, when instead he stands there feeding himself. He's quite good looking. Would you like to look? Would you like to look? One moment, please. It's quite good looking. She seems quite happy to be holding the thing for him. There you go. There he is. Number one first, eh? Oh well. His name's Jake. That's quite a young name, isn't it, Jake? I don't know that one. I've never noticed that, where you feed each other the first bit of cake. Apparently, it symbolises the first tasks completed together as a married couple, when instead he stands there feeding himself, leaving Ali in total shock. Oh, here's a shocked look for you. How funny. The video shows Ali holding a plate of their chocolate wedding cake before Jake takes a chunk of it. But instead of feeding it to his new wife, without hesitating, he stuffs it into his mouth. As he does so, you see the shock on Ali's face. She then mouths something to him, which we assume is telling her that he's slipped up. A moment later, he realises what he's done and his face drops. Could that be the first row? Ali shared the hilarious moment to her TikTok with the caption, "Honestly thought he had seen the cake tradition at a wedding before. Since being posted, the clip has been seen more than 5 million times." Wow. But then they go on about these numbers again, telling us how many likes it's got and how many comments. Why is that so important to people? I only asked for people to put likes underneath the little chat box to help with the algorithms. That's the only reason, really. I don't sit there looking. It's we've said this before. I think it's really sad how people, they post something on Facebook and then they judge how they rather than think about themselves, they decide how good they are by the amount of other people that have hit a like button or a little love heart or something like that. Why does that bother you? Oh wow, look, I've got 35 hearts today on my Instagram. So just put it up there and be done with it. I don't like refer back to things. The only thing I use Facebook is for really to advertise the fact that there's a show about to happen, or perhaps a karaoke night or a quiz night somewhere. I don't go into discussion with anyone on Facebook. It's anything but social on there, isn't it? People tearing each other apart. You know, I don't know. Poor old chap. All he wanted was a piece of cake. I think I'd be the same myself. I'm desperate for that piece of cake in my mouth, especially if it's a sponge one. Trouble is, at weddings, most of them are fruit cakes, aren't they? I don't mean fruit cakes as in mad. I mean fruit cakes as in the cakes that come as wedding cakes are normally fruit cakes. I don't like fruit. I'm not keen on... fruit cake's all right, but not iced fruit cake. That's a bit too much. I don't mind something like... My mum used to make rock cakes, although I didn't really eat them, to be honest, with just a few little bits of currants or something inside them. I can't remember, sultanas maybe. But sponge cakes, yes. A nice birthday sponge cake. That shop, that... Oh, what was it? Petite Valerie, they do nice birthday cakes. And not particularly expensive either. Although they nearly closed down last year, didn't they? Gosh. Good morning to Mari. Morning, Mari. Morning to Mari. Mari's email went into the right place last night. Yes, Mari sent in a little email here. Good morning, Mari. And Mari has been to see the comet. She saw it last night. Mari writes, just seen the comet. Thanks for your directions, because I wrote to Mari last night. Explaining where the comet was. You remember I went to see the comet last night? Well, not last night, the night before. Didn't go to see it. I literally walked out the caravan. I was looking in the wrong place. So it's underneath the plough and slightly to the right. If you want to see the comet, you won't. At least I wasn't able to see it with my naked eye. You've got to find where the plough is. You know, that like saucepan thing, the big one, and then. Not where the handle is, the other bit, you know, the sort of pot. At the bottom right-hand corner, go down and slightly to the left with a pair of binoculars and it's there. Very faint. Even with a pair of binoculars, very faint indeed. They were saying we'd all be able to see it with a naked eye, didn't they? But Mari says, hope I'm not doing the comet an injustice by describing it as a blurred blob with a tail. No, that's exactly what I saw, even through the binoculars. She said, saw the International Space Station as well. Didn't have to walk too far from home, thank goodness. But I had a scary moment on the way back when I suddenly spotted a man walking towards me in darkness. I'm not used to being out at night on my own. No, that's... thanks very much for that, Mari. I'm so pleased you saw that. I'm really pleased, because it's like a once-in-a-lifetime thing of seeing these things, isn't it? And you've got a few more days, I think, to be able to see that. Whether or not it'll get brighter. Apparently, my neighbour texted me and said it's strange that it's so faint because it's coming towards us at the moment. It's getting closer. So we can't quite work out why it's faint, really. Although I suppose the sun has to catch it in the right way. I don't know. I'm not an astronomer, so I don't really know that, unfortunately. Gary, few sponges at weddings these days, a.k.a. wedding crashers. Is that right, Gary? What, people that... are nothing to do with the wedding that just turn up? Really? Gosh. Life just gets worse and worse, doesn't it? People just going around doing what they want to do. Oh, I don't know. It's very, very strange, people, these days. Who else is there? Yeah, Park Nest. When I had to fix my caravan floor, I found it had been previously repaired in 2004. There was a newspaper. It's a 1994 caravan, so the first repair lasted longer than the original floor. Actually, funny you should mention it. I've got in the hallway, there's like, it's a bit raised. I don't know if it's the lino or what, but the door keeps getting stuck on the floor now, and I noticed there's a bit raised on the floor. Could that be it's got a bit wet or something and expanded? Not quite sure about that. Very strange and mysterious. Let's just have a little look there. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Heidi wanted to go out last night and do some long exposure shots, but I was knackered. We'll try today. Supposed to be the best day to see it. Is that right? Today? Tonight? Okay, I'll go out again then, Heidi. See if I can see it tonight. It'd be nice to be able to see it with like a naked eye and not have to have binoculars, don't you think? You know, to just go out there. And I remember one about 25 years ago before I was up here down in Bracknell in Berkshire. And that was it was so bright in the sky, you know, and I would just go out there for ages just looking at this thing in the sky. And it was there for quite a while, you know, a number of weeks. You literally go out and there it would be in the sky. You don't need binoculars or anything. If I had a pair of binoculars then, I bet that would have been looking good, wouldn't it? When you see it as bright as that. My binoculars, I can see like shapes on the moon and everything. Very good. They're only 30, 35 quid, something like that. You know? Good, isn't it? What else have we got here? You want a cheap mobile phone with 5G? Funny thing about Apple, really, isn't it? The Apple phones, up to now, still don't have 5G on them. And yet you would think they're ahead of everyone else. Not this time. I think some of the Samsung ones have got. But in the Sun this morning, it's a Chinese phone. They'll be listening. The Russians and the Chinese are watching this show now. So good morning to you all. Good morning, or I don't know what time it is in China at the moment. Chinese phone maker OnePlus has unveiled a new affordable mobile dubbed the OnePlus Nord. The OnePlus Nord. The handset hits shelves next month and aims to bring flagship quality features to a mobile that costs far less than top Samsung or Apple phones. There you go. Dirt cheap this is in comparison to the others. OnePlus Nord, which is one I've never heard of before, is the latest smartphone from Chinese smartphone maker OnePlus. The mobile is light on killer features, but comes at a wallet-friendly price and was unveiled during an online event on Tuesday, July the 21st. I wonder what it means, killer features. What killer features then? I mean, what you want is a phone with a really good camera. That's about... What else could you possibly want on a... I don't know. I mean, what's mine got? The touch switching on thing. I'm not bothered by that, you know. I'm quite happy to enter a little code onto a keypad. What's that? Facial recognition. Oh, wow, it's got facial recognition. Oh, wow, whoopee-doo. So it looks at your face instead of you punching in 4 numbers. And you've paid another 100 quid for that. It says, we are bringing the premium flagship experience that you come to expect from OnePlus to a new, more affordable smartphone product line, it says. I know some of you have been waiting for this for a long time. So the features, it says, it's camera. Here you go, it's camera. Borrows a lot of features from one of their old phones, which was £800. Users get a 48 megapixel main camera. Gosh. When I remember my first digital camera, how many pixels was that? I don't know. It would it 450 by 720, something like that? I don't know. Gosh. It's also got stabilisation, nightscape, top photos in the dark. Its top main sensor gets an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera, a macro camera, a depth sensor, 2 cameras on the front rather than 1, which can be used for ultra wide group selfies. Oh, the selfie lot will be out there again, won't they? Endless photos of themselves being uploaded. Not 1 or 2 a day. Hundreds. Literally hundreds. The thing is, it's got 5G. And then it goes on about other technical things there. It's got 5G as well. Colours, release date and price, £379. Gosh. That is cheap, isn't it? That's really cheap. In comparison to the others. Wow. Has anyone got a OnePlus phone? Anyone got one of those? Something like that? Strange. Heidi, I think she talked about my floor. It will be where the dampers got in. Oh, is it? Is that right? Oh, that's a bit worrying. Very common in statics. Had to do my old floor in my old van. Used marine ply. Easy enough. Just a pain taking the carpet up. Floor goes very bouncy. Oh... Don't say I got damp. Have I got damp in here as well? It just goes on and on, Heidi. The maintenance on the caravan, it just goes on and on. It's not particularly expensive things to do, but they are things to do. Things that I can't do, you know. Oh, dear me. Dear, dear me. Oh, you're talking to each other. That's all right. Scrolling. It's 4:30 p.m. in China at the moment. Oh, okay. Well, they're I'm an IT time show in China, possibly. Gary, that's why I don't go naked in the garden now on a sunny day in case the Chinese are spying on me. I don't think anyone's looking at you, to be honest, Gary. Well, they might be. Mike Responto's got facial recognition on his iPhone. Thing is, when wearing a face mask, it doesn't work. Oh, you don't need to wear a face mask, Mike Responto, with that pretty boy face of yours, my love. Don't you worry about a little face mask, all right? Look at this old bag. Now, you know the whole social distancing thing. You know what I'm like with it all. You know, I'm intent on this thing. It's not funny when someone takes the mick and comes towards you. You know, when you're on this thing, you become very anxious. Well, in the mail this morning, an enraged woman. I mean, this is taking things a little bit too far, I think. An enraged woman was filmed scolding a young driver and threatening to call the police after claiming he had broken social distancing measures by pulling his car too close to hers. This lad Owen was on his way to work in Crawley in Sussex at around 4:45 in the afternoon on July the 18th when he pulled up to the traffic lights and was met by the angry motorist. Just moments later, the woman launched a furious tirade at the perplexed car parking attendant and shouted, "You're supposed to keep 2 metres apart because of viruses going on at the moment." Well, I mean, so this woman has opened her window to do this. Stupid cow. And she's fuming. I'm looking at her face now. Would you like to see a fuming face? Like that. Harry Butler does that one. My great nephew, he does a fuming face. I'm going to punch you, like that, he goes. Footage captured Mr. Smith shows the woman shows the woman point her finger at the young driver and accuse him of breaking the social distancing measures as he pulls up next to her at the traffic lights. Yeah, look at this old bag. Such anger. Anger. I think people say things to other people just to see if they can push their buttons sometimes. They always usually come off worse when they start getting ignored, you know. She shouts, "I'll phone the police. I mean it." When questioned by Mr. Smith as to why she wants to call the authorities, she continues, "You're supposed to keep 2 metres apart because of viruses going on at the moment." The young driver immediately interjects the woman to explain he's in a car, as the furious motorist shakes her head and shouts, "It doesn't matter." She continues, "That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You haven't got my problem, okay? So go before I get my phone out and call the police." It's just pulled up to her next to traffic lights. Well, what's he supposed to do? Following the incident, the bloke said, "I pulled up to some traffic lights behind a white car and noticed a lady waving her hands about." Perhaps he thought they were just trying to wave. "I dismissed it and tried looking the other way. So I pulled up next to her and she started screaming at me, saying I was way too close to her and I will give her the virus." What a strange person. I was so confused, so I laughed at her and asked her what she was going on about. Then she became really aggressive, so I pulled my phone out for my protection and started recording her. When I'd finished recording, I just drove away laughing. I would have done the same. The young driver then shared a video to TikTok. Yeah, Rachel could do something like that. She's not working, see, on TikTok account where it was downloaded and shared on Twitter. What a strange lady. I mean, you know, cars at traffic lights, how does that work then? Very strange. Very, very strange. Very strange. Let's, where are we now? Let's just scroll down here. The Chinese are watching this show while eating bat stew. Please don't eat bats. It's really not a good idea, my love. George Bond says, I've asked the guy who done your opening and end song and he said it's fine to use it. What's his name then? What's his name? Who done my opening and end song? Who done it? Who done it, George? What a funny thing to write. Who done my opening and end song then? What's his name? Park Nest. Oh, you're talking to each other there. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, look at all this. Oh, it sounds like too much hard work for me, Park Nest. No, I just sell the caravan. I couldn't be bothered with that. What else have we got here? Unusual names for children. We've done this a few times, and there has been some unusual names. But this one, to call your child this, I don't know about this. In the Daily Mail, parents who wanted to call their son Lucifer were told he wouldn't succeed in life if they gave him that name. Why would you want to call your son Lucifer? It's another name for the devil, isn't it? I don't think they'd be getting into Shania's church. Hello, what's your name? Would you like to be baptised? Yeah. In what name? Lucifer? I don't think so. This couple visited their local register office in Derbyshire last week to name their 4-month-old son. But a registrar tried to bar them from using the name, which is banned in New Zealand. Dan, a plant hire company boss, told the Sun, she told us he would never be able to get a job and that teachers wouldn't want to teach him. I tried to explain we're not religious people, and Lucifer in Greek means light bringer and morning, but she wouldn't listen. Oh, I don't think that's the right name. Would you call your child Lucifer? Wow. They were said to be surprised to get any grief over his name, which first appeared as the name for the devil in the King James Bible in 1611. And there is an actual picture of the devil here. Would you like to see that? Apparently it looks like this. 1 minute. Apparently it looks like that. So if you see like that, that might be... Mari, is that the look at that bloke that was walking towards you last night? Did he look anything like that? Very scary. Derbyshire County Council said, we apologise if they were offended, but it's the job of our registrars to advise in these matters. As sometimes people are not aware of certain meanings or associations around certain names. Well, I would have thought everyone knew what Lucifer, who was called Lucifer, wouldn't you? In 2013, New Zealand released a list of banned names that included Lucifer, Christ and Messiah. According to CNN, this is CNN, 6 couples had tried to register their baby under the name Lucifer between 2001 and 2013. However, in 2018, Scottish officials allowed a baby to have the name, while another was allowed to be called the Messiah. There were also babies called Awesome, Nun, N-U-N, Royalty and Pepper. I suppose you can name them anything, can't you? You have to remember, what's it going to be like for the child as he grows up, you know? Do people think about this thing? I'm sure the celebrities don't. When they give them these strange, unusual names, do they think how much hassle that child's going to have at school with other people calling them names? Nah, very strange. This lady in Scotland, Edinburgh, said there aren't really any rules around names. It's a case of people can call their babies whatever they like. And I think it is that case, actually. They can, you know. He did look like that, did he, Mari? I thought so, my love. I thought so. John Parrish. My sons Damien and Adolf are always in trouble. Oh, my awful names, John. Really? Oh, dear. Oh, well. If you had to, how much would you try and sell your caravan, Chris? Well, you know, I paid 8,000 for it. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Probably spent another 6 or 7 on it. I don't know. Whatever it would go for. I would be directed by by Sylvie. I would ask her. I'm always a great believer in taking advice from the experts, whether it be, I don't know, electronic shop. You know, oh, well, this has gone wrong now. What do you think I should do? You have to trust the person as well, though. There's an awful lot of experts out there. An awful lot. You've only got to say something and you'll get 200 different answers from experts, you know, who are absolutely convinced that they are the right person with the answer. You know, that's the problem. That's the problem. But I would say to Sylvie, look, Sylvie, I think I'm going to have to go now. You know, what would I sell this for? And she would tell me. She would tell me straight. Sylvie's a very straight person, very straight. She tells you straight. There's no mucking around with Sylvie, which is a nice thing there. Daniel Woodhouse, morning Daniel. Ronnie Barker once played a wizard called Lucifer Hornsby. He was the Grand High Wizard of the Emetic Order of the Golden Rivet, Hornchurch branch. Oh, the two Ronnies. What happy days we spent, happy Christmases watching them on the telly, and Morecambe and Wise and all that business. Happy days. What have we got now? And last Christmas's television was awful, wasn't it? I remember, I don't think it was anything at all. And they moved Doctor Who off it. Didn't they do that? Was that last year or the year before even, maybe? They moved, it was the only, they moved Doctor Who. Christmas Day. My favourite Christmas programme in recent years was a few years ago when they did a one-off special of, not Keeping Up Appearances, the big old country house with Marge, that one. What is it called now? Da 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 da, with Rodney Bowles with a moustache, and they got married. Oh gosh, what's that called now? Penelope Keith was the main person in it. That one. Oh, what? To the Manor Born. To the Manor Born. That was it. To the Manor Born. Wonderful. That would be my favourite Christmas programme that's been on the telly in recent years. But Christmas telly, awful. Awful. Yeah, E.R. Heidi loves... She knows Sylvie. She is a lovely lady. She really is. She really is. Really is. Okay, what else have we got here? To the Manor Born, that was the one, yeah. Great programme. I used to love it when it was on the telly. That's quite some years old now, wasn't it? They made a one-off special. After 25 years it had finished. And they made a one-off special probably about 5 or 6 years ago now, actually. Which I really enjoyed. The papers didn't like it, but then again, they don't like anything, do they? Morning, John Aitken. Morning, John. Little Joe Woodworth there. Morning. Best to Ronnie's sketch. 4 candles. 4 candles. That's right. That's right. His name is called Bonnie Grace. I think you're running a little bit behind the rest of us, George. We were talking about that about 10 minutes ago, mate. I know what's going on there. Oh, well. One Direction. Are you a fan of One Direction? Oh, bless them. Little Boise band. They're all grown up now, aren't they? All grown up now. Well, if you are a fan, in this morning's Metro, One Direction's 10-year anniversary is almost here. And fans will have the chance to celebrate the big day in style this week with some pretty big plans to mark the band's first decade. Yeah, we're gonna live while we're young. Ba, 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 ba. That one. Those plans include the launch of a brand new anniversary website, which will feature interactive and immersive experiences for fans. I wonder what they are. Immersive experiences. With little Boise band No Direction. While a 10-year celebration video is also being released in honour of the big day on the 23rd of July. 10 years ago, One Direction. Gosh, where's that gone? Of course, there's also been speculation about whether a One Direction reunion could also be on the cards to mark the band's big 10th, but could it actually happen? Here's what we know according to the Metro. Are they getting back together? There's no confirmation yet. If the band might be getting back together to mark their first decade. Liam Payne, however, says he's still hopeful. He's the one who does the pants adverts. Very nice, I have to say. Very nice. Obviously, we know it's a very big anniversary and we definitely want to do something, says young Liam. I mean, it's a tough one. I can't promise any reunion plans because it just isn't right now. I always put it down to music language because everyone's releasing at the moment with like 2 years worth of promotions. I have to say the music at the moment in the charts is much better than it has been over the recent years. I have to say. It really is. And about 10 to 15 years ago, it just became awful. But it's better now. It's much more happy now. People like, I like Dua Lipa, Justin Bieber, One Direction. I quite like them. Who else? David Guetta, that sort of stuff. He added, but it still seems very hopeful in that department. Would you like to see One Direction again? Was you a fan or not? They were all right, weren't they? Jumping around on the stage. It sounds like that toilet's about to explode again. I'm starting to think again it's going to happen at some point, so it's exciting if there's a reunion. Liam has hinted that little Zayn might not be part of it. He didn't want to know, did he, Zayn? He went off and did his own thing, bless him. Seemingly letting the news slip, doing an Instagram live in April. Was he doing that in his pants? I might get one of his posters, actually, to put up in my bedroom. Liam doing the pants adverts. He revealed during the chat, with friend and collaborator DJ Alesso, that he's in contact with Harry Styles, Niall and Little Louis. Most of us are in London. We've been trying to arrange the first group FaceTime at the moment. I suppose they're all busy doing other things, aren't they now? They all became sort of their... what would you call it? Singular pop stars. Harry did these things, and then he did a film, didn't he? In Dunkirk, he was all right in that. Did a bit of acting. Niall, wasn't he doing... he's done a couple of songs, hasn't he? And Louis, they've all done their own sort of singular bits, haven't they, really? When you think about it. I don't know if he was a One Direction fan or not. John says One Direction were okay. Liam was my favourite. He's got a full beard now. Oh, I'm not keen on full beards, John. Oh, no, I don't like those. I don't mind a bit. I've had a shave last night. I thought I'd have a shower last night, which was quite pleasant, just before bed. I do sleep better after a shower. Do you? Try that. Don't do a cold shower. That's a mistake, a cold shower. Because if you have a cold shower and you get in bed, your body is then trying to heat you up again and you become too hot. Don't have a cold shower before bed. Let's have a look there. Sylvia is a wonderful woman. She loves cupcakes, and pictures of my new Chapel Hill caravan will be sent to you soon, Chris. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. Just make sure you're right over at the back near the water. So you're the first one to be gone if the river comes over. I'll see you floating. Bye, Mick. Audrey Forbes Hamilton, Joe. That's the lady. To the Manor Born. How wonderful is that? I love the music as well. Loved it. It looks so dated now when you watch some of these old programmes, don't they? And the other one with The Good Life. She was in The Good Life as well, wasn't she? Ba-ba-da, with the picture of the egg. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. He died, didn't he? The chap in that, the nice bloke in that, the sort of the one who did all the digging and all that. He died, didn't he, some years ago? I remember I was listening to an interview of him with Steve Allen on LBC, I think it was, and it was talking about his lungs, and he says, "Oh, my lungs are completely ruined now." He said, "I've been smoking too many years." He said, "I can barely walk, very far." And he's shortly after the interview, I think that was the last interview, he died from lung conditions there, Shame, really. Park Nest, I thought Zayn had quit wrong direction. Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said some years ago. John, Kylie releases her new song tomorrow, Say Something. I haven't heard that one yet. I don't know what that sounds like. It's probably very good. Is it very poppy? We like poppy music, don't we? Daniel doesn't know any of these pop people. The only Liam Payne I know is the one I had in my left leg back in 2007. Thank you, Parkness. The late, great Richard Bryars. That's him. Yeah. It was very sad to hear the interview, actually. And he knew. He knew he was on his way out. When he was adding the interview, he said, "Yeah, I haven't got long to live now." No one knew, really. He said, "My lungs are completely mucked up and that, and caused by the years of smoking." Funny thing is, some people with lung conditions over the years, Roy Castle, you remember probably the most famous one when you think about it. He got lung cancer, didn't he? He never smoked, but he worked in smoky atmospheres, the same as I used to. Now, I did smoke for a while, between sort of 15 years old and 25, so about 10 years. And then I just stopped and I never touched one after that. I think it was like, because everyone else was doing it, all the young boys at the time were doing that then. And I used to smoke. And then I stopped. But, no, probably about 27. I think from about 15 to about 27. I was one of the boys that used to go into the school toilets and have a crafty cigarette in there. Why do we do it? Why is that? There's not even anyone else in the toilet. I just lock the door and have a cigarette. Why did we do that? It's mad, isn't it, really, when you think about it? I stopped at about 27 when I moved to Bracknell from London. I never touched one since. And don't want one either. I can't stand the smell of smoke. Mind you, it's not as bad as that marijuana smell, is it? Marijuana, isn't it? I can't stand that smell. Vile stuff. Nasty, sweet, sicky smell. Horrible. Oh, it's just horrible. Yeah, that's smoking. Old Roy Castle. He would go out to all these venues playing his trumpet and singing, and that he reckons that's where he got it from, working in smoky venues. The pubs I used to work in, you used to go in and this wall of smoke would hit you, but you'd just go in and sit down and just get on with your job, wouldn't you? So maybe, although I gave up smoking at 27, maybe I actually smoked until they stopped smoking in pubs, if you see what I mean. Because the moment you'd gone in there, it was like you were smoking for that whole time you were in there, wasn't it? Eh? Let's just scroll up here. Denise Penelope Peep is Agatha Raisin, full cast BBC 4 drama on audio CD. I love it. Yeah, she's still around, isn't she, Penelope Keith? What a great actress. What a fantastic career she's had, Penelope Keith, don't you think? I was a fan. Big fan of hers. I wonder if they'd ever do another To the Manor Born, just one more. They're very old now, aren't they, these people? But we love it. We love it. Daniel grew up around smokers, and it's something that never appealed to me at all. It's funny, isn't it, how some people just don't do it and some people do. No. And good. So it's a new album called Disco, is it? Okay. Should be a dance track. There you go. Parkness cannabis smells absolutely vile. Yeah, cannabis. There's a garage down at the house where all these boys go and smoke this stuff. Oh, it's horrible. They don't realise how far the smell travels. I mean, that smell of the cannabis, and there's another name for something that's stronger. I can't remember what it's called now. Is it blow? No. Skunk. That's it. Skunk. Oh, it stinks, this stuff. And the smell seems to travel for miles. I can smell it down at my house. I'm nowhere near that garage where they smoke the stuff. Good luck with your CT scan there, Mick, on the there. Dame Penelope is 80 years old. There you go. 80 years old she is. That's not bad going, is it? One more story today, and then we'll do our raffle tickets, boys and girls. Okay, coronavirus vaccine could be available before Christmas, thanks to the UK scientists. Now, I kind of hope that we here in the UK get this vaccine sorted before everyone else. And I'll tell you why. We're quite well known for sharing stuff like that for nothing. For nothing. You can imagine, I'm sorry to say, if the Americans got like some sort of coronavirus vaccine, you can imagine them wanting to immediately have like the copyright thing on this and selling it to everyone. Whereas I think we're more likely to give something like that away. Obviously not the whole produced thing, but the formula, so that it can be rushed out to as many countries as possible. I'm surprised that they've got this so quickly. But it's in the Sun, so it says in the Sun, UK scientists announced 2 breakthroughs in the war on COVID-19, raising hopes of a vaccine before Christmas. Early trials called, ChAdOx1, ChAdOx1, show it's safe and triggers a strong immune response. A new antiviral drug may cut the risk of death or serious illness in coronavirus patients by up to 79%. That's quite high, isn't it? 79%? Health Secretary says our scientists have played a blinder. The data from research involves more than 1,000 healthy volunteers, shows a vaccine developed at Oxford University is safe and triggers a strong immune response. He is now increasingly hopeful a vaccine will be available this side of Christmas. Gosh. And Kate Bingham of the UK's Vaccine Task Force added, optimistically, we'll be vaccinating at the end of the year. It's possible for a vaccine to be used by then. That's wonderful. The breakthrough came as it was announced that a game-changing drug developed by a firm in Southampton could drastically cut the death rate among the patients. So, as well as that, I think they were looking at the people that have already got it. And, you know, over time, it's like, as I said the other day on the show, with lots of illness, over time, when people get sort of a new illness, when it first comes, no one knows what's to do. It's all very well saying, you know, hospitals and governments are running around like headless chickens. Well, they don't know what to do. They've never had it before. What do you expect is going to happen? Everyone's going to immediately know exactly what to do. Don't be so stupid. Of course they don't. They have to learn. And now that so many thousands of people, tens of thousands of people have been in and out of hospital, they would have tried various things, wouldn't they? Or tried that on that bloke there. Oh no, he's dead. Okay, that's not very good. I'm sorry to be so basic with it, but this is how it works, I reckon. That one's dead. Oh, that one seems to have picked up. Okay, take a note of what we're giving him. Let's give that lady over there. Oh no, she's dead. You know, and so on. You see what I mean? And then over a period of time, they got all these thousands of bits of stuff that they've tried on people, some of which have worked, some of which haven't. And then they collate it all together, and then they roll out the information to all the hospitals. Don't they? But unfortunately, it takes time, and even more unfortunately, people die when they're trying out all these various things. But, you know, fingers crossed we'll find something like that. Fingers crossed we'll find something like that. Okay. There you go. Mandy Davenport, skunk is the worst. Is that the worst smelling one? You see, I don't know the different smells between the different things because I sort of don't do anything like that. I've no interest in smoking my life away on that blooming stuff. Walking around like in a zombie type. Any zombies here today? Who wants to be a zombie? Do you want to be a zombie? Who wants a raffle ticket? Speak now. Come on, who wants a raffle ticket? Speak now. Who wants a raffle ticket? John, could you... I'm going to have to ask you to ask again, John. I haven't said tickets yet. You keep getting in too early there, John. Come on, John. Be the same as everyone else. No favouritism, dear. Even though you did look nice in those little tight white shorts you used to wear. Who wants a ticket today? Tickets, please. Tickets, please. Roll up, roll up. It's tickets for the circus. I am the circus in the morning. And then I've left my pills out there, so I must go and get those in a moment. I wonder what time the toilet man is coming today. Mick Davenport. Here we go then. Number 15. We started a new lot of raffle tickets last night. Great quiz last night. Great quiz. Thank you those of you that playing that last night. Really enjoyed that last night. Where are we now? Oh, that says so Mick Davenport. No, hang on. Where, Michael. I've got Michael on here. 15. Oh, Michael Lawrence. There we are. Michael Lawrence, 15. Mari, 16. Heidi, 17. Lovely Denise, 18. Jason Hughes, 19. Daniel Holmes, 20. Diane Jep, 21. Mick Davenport, 22. Claire, 23. John Aitken, 24. Always so premature, John. Unbelievable. Is that everyone? Everyone got their raffle tickets? If I've missed you out, please speak now. Meanwhile, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. It's birthday time. Oh, unbelievable. I've now got messages from people saying they didn't get their bingo tickets this morning. Does anyone watch this show? Or are they just here for the tickets? I'm starting to wonder now, to be honest. Gosh. How can you have a message come through on the show saying I haven't got the bingo tickets while the show's on? Right, let's do today's birthdays. Here we go. Happy birthday on this Wednesday, the 22nd of July, 2020, to Paul Michael Overington, who I DJ'd with in Clapham. I don't think he DJs anymore, but happy birthday to Paul. Another year goes past. Jan Woodley today is a young 70 years old. Happy birthday, Jan. Paul Hammond, happy birthday, Paul. Ian Price, he does karaoke, is reached a 65 today. Happy birthday, Ian. David Bowie Parker. Morning, David. Happy birthday. Stephen Ecklet, 54 years old today. You've got a nice full beard there. Peter Rockmelon, our little Peter. Greetings, happy birthday. Patrick Arnie, I think do you come to the karaoke? Is it you? Let me see if it's you. Or is it another Patrick? Just a moment, I'm not sure about that. Oh, you've got a Memmy thing. Oh, there you are. No, it's not him. No, it's another Patrick. But it doesn't matter, you're just as important, Patrick. Happy birthday to you, darling. And also, happy birthday on this Wednesday to Denise Windham. Hello, Denise, who's managed to reach 48 years old today. Happy, Denise. Happy, Denise. Denise is always happy. Happy birthday to Denise and everyone else on the show today. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Twice, coronavirus. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Oh, have I finished already? Yeah, I'm just sorry. Have I finished already there? Sorry, I was just looking at the tickets we've missed out this morning. So, Joe Woodrow, let's give you a ticket. Ticket number 25. Ticket 25. 2 and 5. 25 for young Joe there, boys and girls. Okay, and also, Peter Paliwoda is ticket number 26. Is that everyone? Have we done everyone there, my loves? Let's have a look. I think that's everyone's tickets there. Ticket. Joe and Peter. That's everyone, isn't it? There we are, everyone there. Everyone. There's Joe. Good, I think that's it. Joe. Little Joe. Peter. Joe, Peter. Mick only got one ticket. Mick got ticket number 22. Ticket number 22 for Mr. Mick Davenport. Thank you very much for joining us on the show today, boys and girls. That's better, isn't it? Just about an hour show. Where we used to be an hour. It got too long, far too long. How can I expect anyone to pay attention for 2 whole hours? Dear me. I can't believe someone's asked for a bingo ticket. I haven't got my bingo ticket today. It just shows you, I don't think anyone's watching anymore. They just want bingo and raffle tickets. What's the point? See you soon. Bye-bye.